So, Chris, here we are enjoying the best of the Welsh summer.
Oh yes.
One of our favourite little stop-offs in the Brecon Beacons, the International Welsh Rarebit Centre.
Or the cheese factory, as some like to call it.
Or the cheese factory. It's about as international as we've been for a while, to be fair.
Yeah, 2020's been a real tough year, but you know, fingers crossed 21's going to be much better for us. 21
does look exciting, doesn't it? Lots of new stuff. So what's happening new with the world of Motorrad tours this year?
Oh, there's lots going on in 21. We've transferred quite a few tours across from 2020, but we've also introduced some new things. One of the things that really excites me at the moment is the Motorrad Tours Academy.
Now, the Motorrad Tours Academy excites me. That is exciting. You know what really excites me is a cappuccino. I always love a cappuccino. I know you're a tea drinker, but I'm definitely a cappuccino man.
Yes, good old-fashioned tea for me.
Lovely, thank you very much. Oh, there we go.
Lovely, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. So yeah, Motorrad Tours Academy. What's the Motorrad Tours Academy about?
Well, really, it's sort of, the idea was planted by our customers. You know, every year during tour training, we have a feedback session with the tour leaders, and the tour leaders say that, you know, on a regular basis, customers come up to them and say, I like the way you ride, can you give me any coaching, can you sort of point me in the right direction? So we thought we might sort of formalise that and create the academy, and so the idea is to run a tour, but with some coaching involved as well, to make the customers better, safer riders, give them a bit more confidence when they're on the road.
Fantastic. So it's going to be a combination of touring and training all at the same time. How much time on each?
Well, the Tours Training Day, which is a sort of a one-day package, and it's going to be basically classroom based.
Okay.
But it's going to be essentially, it's going to be very similar to a tour. So they'll customers will arrive the evening before. We'll have a welcome dinner. We'll stay the night in one of our favourite hotels in Llandilo. And the next day then we'll just talk about the things we need to do to prepare for a tour. So it's aimed at people who have not been on a tour, or people who are thinking of coming on an organised tour for the first time, or just people who are thinking of going touring or going travelling. We're trying to give them all the things they'll need before they go, to prepare before they go.
So stuff like actual tour planning, tour prep.
Yeah, we'll talk about GPX, we'll talk about navigation, maps, etc. We'll talk about packing, what to take with them. We'll look at, you know, where are they going? What's the climate like? What clothing do they need to take? Essentially, what clothing do they not need to take? What don't they want to take in their panniers?
That's always a favourite, isn't it? Everybody overpacks at the beginning.
So we'll cover the basics like that, and we'll also cover the more in-depth things then, things like border crossings, what to expect at a border crossing, if they're travelling on a ferry, you know, how to lash a motorcycle down, do they need to do it, or will that be done by the deckhands, etc. We'll be looking at maybe some basic maintenance as well, so if they have a puncture while on the road, we'll maybe do some practical stuff in the classroom and start fixing some punctures.
Brill. So that's the tour training day, that's a one-day classroom-based event. What else is in the Motorrad Tours Academy?
It's the rider development tour, and I'm really excited about this because again, it's a tour. So we'll be treating it as a tour. People will turn up the night before. We'll have a welcome dinner. We'll have the hotel in the evening. The next morning we'll have a morning session, sort of question and answer session, really, just finding out what the customers want to get from the rider development tour. Their needs, their concerns, that sort of thing, and then we'll be riding for the rest of the tour. While we're riding, we'll be spending a lot of time coaching.
A lot of time? How much? What's the balance between touring and just having fun and relaxing and being coached?
Okay, it's about 50-50, I'd say.
Okay. Big groups, small groups?
No, we're going to keep to a maximum of 4 people in a group. Per tour leader stroke instructor. You know, we are really blessed because we've got we're lucky with our resources that we have available to us. We have highly qualified ROSPA trained advanced instructors and examiners, as well as DVSA accredited instructors.
Okay, so about half the time coaching, half the time touring, having fun. Where's it all going to take place?
We're looking at 3 places. We're going to offer 3 tours initially in South Wales.
This balmy metropolis that we're sitting in now, yeah.
And it's called Wild Wales.
Wild Wales.
and we'll be riding through the Black Mountains. We'll be riding through the iconic Brecon Beacon National Park, and we'll be transiting up the spine of Wales. And we'll end up playing in Snowdon. Will be our playground for a couple of days as well.
Awesome. So some in Wales. One of those is for women only.
One for women only, yes. And we've done that to tie that in with the off-road skills women only
Level 1 course.
Level 1 course, yeah.
So they can come down. People can come down, do the off-road skills Level 1 women only, then go straight on and do the rider development women only course. So you could sort of make a whole week's training out of it by the sound of it.
Yes, the idea is they'll do the 2 days. They'll finish on a Saturday. They'll come and spend the day with us on Sunday. So we'll spend the night in the hotel and we'll have the welcome dinner. On Sunday, then we'll spend the day in the classroom covering the tour training aspect of it. And then the following day after that, the rider development tour will start. So yes, they can come and spend the whole time, and at the end of it, they should be very well prepared to go on tour.
Brill. And so that's Wales, Wild Wales. You said there were 3 locations.
Yeah, Wales, Scotland. We've got Sublime Scotland, so we will be riding in the Highlands of Scotland.
Super.
And being coached while we're out there as well. So that's going to be a fantastic tour, fantastic sights and scenery, and the roads are just awesome in Scotland. And the final one toward the end of the year, so we can sort of maximise or stretch out the season, will be in Spain, and it'll be in the Picos and Asturias mountains.
The Picos. Now that is a great motorcycling destination. Quiet roads, grippy tarmac, lots of mountains. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun and a great place to improve your skills.
And we've called it the perfect Picos for that reason alone.
Indeed. What about UK and Europe? What else is new in UK and Europe?
Well, I think another thing that's really exciting, I think, for 21 is Motorrad Days.
Okay, Motorrad Days moving to Berlin for the first time ever.
Yeah, moving to Berlin, leaving Garmisch for this year, for next year. We're excited about it because it's going to be a slightly different festival. It'll be all things Motorrad Days for the festival, but I think there'll be a twist. There'll be a new aspect to it because it's in one of the best cities in Europe.
It's in the beating heart of BMW Motorrad. It is where the factory is, where your bike started from.
Yes, absolutely.
So, 2020 marked the 20-year anniversary of Motorrad Days and the 20-year anniversary of World of BMW in the UK. There was going to be a celebration. That's been put off to 21, so it's now the 21 years of Motorrad Days.
That's right, yes.
How are Motorrad Tours celebrating that?
Well, I think we will be visiting Garmisch this year, next year, and we will also be visiting the festival in Berlin.
Special tour, doing the new destination and the old destination.
Yeah, a bit of the old, bit of the new.
Fantastic. I know we've rolled up the Alps, we've rolled up the Vosges, we've rolled up the Doubs Mountains. It's actually, we're going to take in a lot of our favourite places from the last 20 years ago into Motorrad Days, roll them all up, add in Berlin. Looks like a fantastic tour. Couple of weeks, but it's going to be a great European tour.
And as you know, with Berlin, we've got an inside track on exactly what's going on that day.
We have. Now, being the BMW travel partner, we know that in Berlin, we're going to be... and... but of course, we can't tell anybody about any of that, so... No. Yeah, you'll have to just come on tour.
Yeah, cheers.
2021, new year. How's it looking for bookings?
You know what, Richard? We are just so lucky with the customers that we have. The support they've shown us has just been immense. I'd say 80% of them have transferred to 2021. So that's really helped us we've had a grim 2020, to be honest, and 21's looking really, really positive at the moment, and it's all down to our customers transferring across with us.
Fantastic. And I guess that's because being bonded helps.
I think ABTOT bonding is just so important, and the fact that we have a no quibble COVID refund policy as well. I don't think any one of our customers has waited longer than 48 hours to have a full refund.
and that's got to give people confidence. That's really positive. So if 80% of people have transferred, there must be tours for next year that are already looking pretty busy.
Yeah, a good example of that is the Arctic and the Midnight Sun. I mean, it was already full last year, 2020. All of those customers have transferred to 2021.
So does that mean there is no space for Arctic 21?
Yeah, no space. So we've actually generated a second tour to the Arctic, and believe it or not, that's almost full.
Wow. Wow.
So that's, again, really, really positive. Just can't thank the customers enough really for showing support in us. But it's not just the Arctic. We've seen a very similar thing in Spain with the Picos Mountains. We had 2 Picos tours which have transferred to 21, and we've actually created a third tour now, which is going to be later in the year to extend the season, and that's already on the way to being fully booked.
Wow. That's great news. That's really positive. So though the existing tours and people have transferred, what's happening that's new in Europe in 21 with Motorrad Tours?
Well, we've got Carpathian Mountains, Romania. That's a fly-in, fly-out tour, flying to Budapest, which allows us to spend the week then riding in the mountains. We're going to be visiting some fantastic places, some UNESCO World Heritage sites. Of course, there's the famous castle.
Got to have a bit of Dracula's Castle, bit of
That's right.
Transylvania.
And of course, then we have the Transalpina Pass.
And the Transfer Garrison.
2 days we're going to be spending riding the Transfer Garrison. We're going to be spending a night on the top near the lakes, and then we'll be moving on and continuing with the journey the following day.
Carpathian Mountains sounds pretty awesome. New Motorrad Days sounds exciting. What else is new in the 2021 calendar?
It's Jewels of Japan.
Yeah, absolutely. Jewels of Japan, I have to say, highly recommended place to ride. Fantastic mountains, skyline roads, incredible castles, incredible culture. You know, really, really looking forward to that. Going at a beautiful time of year. It was originally scheduled for this year. We had to push it, obviously, like so many things. But yeah, excited about Japan. Also very, very excited about Ultimate Wild West. 3 weeks through the west coast of America. It's just ticks so many boxes. You know, we're going to have 2 nights in Las Vegas. We're going to ride Death Valley. We're going to ride Big Sur. We're going to stay in Yellowstone. We're going to helicopter ride over the Canyon before we go rafting through the canyon. The whole tour is just one after the other, absolute must-see destinations. Great thing is we've timed it so you could ride our Alaska and the Canadian Rockies tour and then carry straight on and do Ultimate Wild West. Turn it into one big 6-week adventure.
Yeah, of course. Alaska is filling up rapidly as well.
Alaska and the Canadian Rockies, with all those lovely people who transferred from this year, and some had already booked for 21. I think has 2 places left as we're recording this.
Yeah.
Ultimate Wild West is almost half full. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty epic trip, I have to say. West coast of the States, finishing up on Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco.
Good old San Fran.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Really, really excited about that as well.
And of course, we've also got, if you fancy something a little bit more Central America, we've got the Magical Mayans.
Absolutely, Magical Mayans. Really overlooked bit of the world. This tour centres on Guatemala, a little bit of time in south of Mexico, right down in the south, very safe. Don't believe the stories you've heard about Mexico. Well, not all of them. Little couple of nights in Honduras, but it all centres around the lost cities of the Mayan culture. The Mayans and the Incas were the 2 massive cultures that ruled the Americas before we discovered it. And the tour focuses around 3 lost cities, Palenque, Tikal and Copan. Plenty of time to explore them, great riding, as well as time spent in some of the most beautiful places. Chichicastenango, visit the market, nights in Antigua de Guatemala, the old capital of Guatemala, beautiful old colonial palisaded square. And as you look up, there's 3 volcanoes. It's a great mix of sort of Spanish culture and Central American scenery and backdrop. For me, it's one of the last places that's still fully Central America. Panama, Costa Rica, nice but very heavy American influence. Guatemala, Honduras, it's Central America. It's what you think of. yeah, really excited about that.
Yeah, and I think it's very good value for money tour as well.
It is, because it's overlooked.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going there. It's a place that is overlooked. It's not got a big tourist industry. If you're looking to be staying in the Hiltons and the Marriotts, forget it. This isn't the tour for you. If you're looking for a beautiful local colonial boutique hotel just off the square, this is the one for you.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, Chris, this might be the height of summer in Wales, or as we call it, November. So I might have to go inside and have a Welsh rarebit shortly, because we are, after all, at the International Welsh Rarebit Centre. But before we do, there's one other thing in next year's calendar that's really exciting me. Marrakesh Express, new tour in Morocco.
Yes, week-long tour, as opposed to the short or the longer tours that we offer at the moment. And it's flying into Marrakesh. And it's a fantastic little tour, actually. It gives you a real feel for Morocco. Riding out to Essaouira, down to Tafraout. We'll be going through the Atlas Mountains, Tiz Test, Tiz Tichna, down to Ait Benadou.
Sounds fantastic. Ancient Khazars, coast, mountains, and Morocco. It's always such a welcoming place. You know it's one of my faves. I've been going there for longer than I care to mention. I think I've been to Morocco 20 times on a bike now, and I put my name down from every year. So yeah, a new tour in Morocco is always a good thing.
And of course it ends in Marrakesh, starts and ends in Marrakesh, hence the name Marrakesh Express. And there's just something about Jemel Fanar, the square in Marrakesh, the smells, the sights, the sounds, it just gets everything tingling.
Absolutely. The other thing, of course, that's a biggie for us as a touring company is the new RT.
That's right, yeah. I'm really looking forward to getting our hands on one of them. It's got the new screen, the TFT screen. It's got the built-in nav.
That screen's even bigger than the one on the GS.
Yes, it is. I think it's gonna completely change the way you tour with that integral nav system as well.
Yeah, really, really exciting. Only seeing the pictures at the moment, but yes, gonna get excited about that. And I have to say, I don't know about you, but I missed out on riding the new XRs this year. I know you didn't, but I'm super excited to get my hands on both the 900 and 1000 XRs next year, because I missed out this year.
I think the 1000 XR is such a refined machine now, even more so compared to the last model, I think. The TFT screen just makes it more familiar, and it's just a lovely bike to ride, and it's just got the performance you'd expect from an XR.
Yeah. And something else I'm really looking forward to next year, as I am getting to be a bit of an old git.
Sidecar?
No, not a sidecar, Chris, but heated seat on a GS and GSA. Not before time BMW, I have to say. Yeah, it's one of the things when you get off an RT onto a GS I've missed over the last few years. I don't have any heated clothing, but a heated seat and heated grips, I'm a happy boy. I'm looking forward to that.
It's a complete package, isn't it?
Great Welsh rarebit, as always. That's why we keep coming back here. Don't miss it if you're in the Brecon Beacons. Really looking forward to 21. There's so much there. We've got the new Motorrad Tours Academy, new Motorrad Days tour. We've got some new adventure tours. We've got some great new bikes. Of course, we mustn't forget the old favourites as well.
That's right, yes. One of my old favourites and one of our customers' favourites is Sardinia Corsica. It's a lovely tour. Once you leave the mainland, you come into Sardinia, the scenery is just fantastic, and then when you hit Corsica, the heights and the mountain scenic Mediterranean views are just absolutely fantastic also.
Tweaking it for this year so we can ride Route Napoleon?
Yeah, hopefully we'll be looking to come into Savona, so we'll be coming on the mainland a day earlier, which allows us then to traverse or go north via the Route Napoleon to Gap and beyond.
Brilliant bit of riding. It is an old favourite. One of my old favourites is Imperial Cities. I have to say, 2 days off in Budapest, Bratislava, Vienna, Görlitz. Not many people have heard of Görlitz. Sits on what was the East German-Polish border. Really beautiful tour. Again, great balance between sightseeing and riding. Of course, if you just want to ride, there's lots of peg-scrapey stuff. Mountains Picos, Mountains Pyrenees, Mountains Alps. Change Mountains Alps every year.
Yes, and we've also got the opportunities to take life a little bit slower with Cruise the Moselle, Rhine and Moselle.
Cruise the Côte d'Azur, there's a whole load of those. I tell you one that always gets overlooked, like, well, some people overlook it, the Buddha Route Thailand. It's a brilliant tour. 3 days riding the road of 1864 bends, described every time by people as the best motorcycling they've ever had. And yet you mix it with a culture of Thailand, the temples, the Buddhas, visiting the long neck Karen tribe, taking long-tailed boats rides, bridge on the River Kwai, war cemeteries. It's a really, really epic 2-week ride, packed with things to see, things to do, and superb riding. And people, I don't think, expect to have such brilliant riding as they'll find in Thailand.
And of course, the climate is just absolutely perfect for riding a motorcycle.
Absolutely, when we go there, definitely. And we're going north, we're not going into all the bars and mess that is southern Thailand, all those beachfront places. We're going into northern Thailand where it's really remote, it's farming, it's the old Thailand. Yeah, really looking forward to that one again.
And you can tie that in as well with Angkor temples.
Angkor, Adventure Angkor, new version of our Cambodia tour for next year, absolutely. I mean, Cambodia, a historic country with an incredible history, you know, between the Khmer Rouge and the hideous stuff of the 70s and very early 80s, going back thousands of years to the original Khmer Empire. Time to explore Angkor. Angkor Wat is one of the temples. Angkor is the complex temples. It's the biggest historical religious site in the world. It was originally one religion, then swapped to another. Time off in Phnom Penh. Great riding, really great riding. And what's an adventure tour? It's actually very, very small amount of dirt road. In fact, the dirt road could all be avoided if you want to stick to the tarmac. If you like a bit of dirt, it's there. But it's really an adventure because the culture and the place itself, super welcoming, super safe, but different to anywhere you've ever been. Very different to Vietnam, very different to Thailand. They're all really independent countries. One of the other things we should talk about are the short break tours, because we talk about the big adventure stuff a lot because it's big and adventurous. But actually the short breaks are perfect if you've not got too much time but want to get away on your bike.
Yeah, we do Morocco short break, Andalusia short break, and new for 2019-2020 was the Greek short break.
Andalusia, I know your favourite.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for Andalusia. You know, I love Spain, I love the culture, I love the people, I certainly love the climate. And the beautiful thing about Andalusia short break is that we extend the season by flying out to Malaga, picking up our bikes in Malaga, riding up through Ronda towards Cordoba and Seville, back to Malaga. Not only for 21, not only do we do it in November, we've also got one running in April as well. So we really are extending the riding season.
Fantastic. Get away from the wet winters at home and get into the sunshine. Mine's obviously going to be Morocco, my favourite short break. 4 days in Morocco, in and out of Marrakesh, wandering the souks again. We do it at the end of the season, so you're getting the benefits of the warm weather down there as opposed to doing it in the winter, being in the winter at home. But time wandering the souks, wandering the Medinas, always good. Great riding in the Atlas. But Greece we first did 2019, and it was a real eye-opener for a lot of people. Group that went absolutely loved it, blown away by the riding in Greece. In fact, we had a Lamb Chop Rides, the blogger, come on that tour. If you want to see it, watch his video. I think he says wow something like 400 times. Maybe needs to learn another word, but It tells you what it was like. He was blown away by it. Great.
Yeah.
So Chris, tell me about Dungeons and Dragons. Where does it go? What's it about?
Well, Dungeons and Dragons, again, it's down to customers requesting more tours within the UK. So it starts near London, we divert into Wales, and we end up in Scotland. On the way, we're going to get an opportunity to see Oxford. We'll have an opportunity to maybe catch a little bit of theatre at Stratford-on-Avon. We're going to be riding in the Brecon Beacons and Black Mountains in Wales. There'll be the Lake District, Peak District, Galway Forest, and then we'll be on the Dunoon ferry along Loch Long and ending up on the shores of Loch Fyne in Inverary before riding the infamous Glencoe toward Edinburgh.
And that's a great way to end a tour. Ending in Edinburgh is fantastic, I have to say. So I think the last thing you have to say is to say once again thanks to our customers. You know, the loyalty and the confidence they've shown in transferring from 2020 to 2021 in these difficult times has been really heartwarming.
Yeah, I think I just need to echo your sentiments there. It really has been a lift for us both. The confidence they've shown, the loyalty, and some of the emails we've had just offering encouragement. It's just been brilliant. I'm really looking forward to 2021.
Yeah, so am I. Hopefully they are as well. So last big question, who's going to be leading Ultimate Wild West? Arm rescue for it or toss a coin for it? Up to you. Chris is going to be leading Ultimate Wild West.